Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid.
And we're back.
Yeah, we are. In like a month or so, huh?
Pretty much. Yeah, it's been a while since our last one.
Yeah. Life takes hold, don't it? Don't it get real busy real quick, mate?
Got real crazy.
Yeah, wild.
And
Absolutely wild.
we're happy to be back for another one. Got lots to talk about.
As always.
I made a little list on my in my notes.
That's a good yeah. Because
I'll just hit you with any of these and you could chime in if one pulls you. So I put weathering the storm.
yeah, so right off the bat, that's what each and every single human being has to endure because that's the storm is life itself, right? And we are all born into a unique disposition, and as we grow, we're faced with different challenges that are unique to us and us alone that we have to like identify, analyze, and then discover a resolution towards.
Rise above it.
Yeah, man, and that's not easy. And it really like that storm buries a lot of people beneath the ocean floor a lot of the time because life is difficult.
Yeah, sometimes for weeks and months and years even.
Yeah, dude.
That's the crazy part. Like I keep on thinking of a lot of people who haven't had like monumentous resolutions for their lives, and you kind of hope and pray that there will be something that could trigger that I guess internal tidal wave to chip away and find a resolving
The thing is, that,
action or grace or multiple beautiful things that can happen for one person on that journey of healing and
but the thing is, like you said, if,
inner work, I guess.
if it happens though,
If it happens.
for a month, right, and you feel like down for a month, and then it adds up over and over and over time, it just begins to bury you, and unless you really have sort of some kind of like divine intervention or external intervention or internal intervention when you finally like crack and you realize you have hit rock bottom and you can no longer endure this any longer, so you are willing to make a change, it's just going to continue to progress into a deeper and deeper depression. And I'm not saying solely of the mental variety, but like also just like what is a depression? It's just a divot in the ground, right? So you're just going to keep going deeper and deeper into that in every aspect of your life until you're like, wow, I need to fucking get out of this, man. This is not my path, but it's become my path to
Yeah.
teach me that I do not want to relish in my own darkness and absence of any sort of
Yeah, you got to
growth.
start climbing out of the hole. And when you're in the hole, it's hard to see the light. That's
And, like,
that's the hard part about it, that it's hard to make those moves. And I think when you do, it's like you really got to hold on to those small little steps that kind of get you there. I
Find-
also, go ahead.
I just find life can like society is designed to disable you to a really high degree, and it's also designed to like just keep you out of touch with who you really are. You know what I mean? And I think that's that's in order to conform everyone to be cohesive within society, it breaks down the individual within a collective that has a single ideological purpose in mind a lot of the time. It's not like everyone in society is this individual. A lot of people, and like that's the thing, right? In order to have your own autonomy, you have to individuate and you have to be your own self. Like you have to be in touch with who you are on an innate level, and in order to do that, you got to really take the time to do so. And this society does not offer anyone, for the large part, time to do that. You got a job that you're grinding away just so you can make your mortgage payment. You got 2 kids, you got a partner. You're trying to make everything outside of yourself balance, and that's extremely difficult. I can imagine. I'm a single fucking 29-year-old dude, And I know like it's a challenge, so I can only imagine as life progresses when that all adds up. And a lot of guys don't get to a point they can individuate before that even happens. They're just like all of a sudden they knocked a chick up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And all of a sudden they're
Working a lot and
putting a down payment on a mortgage, and then they're like, "Whoa, I'm 40."
yeah, it's hard to take that time. Find the time. But I guess I actually texted Memphis because I saw this little clip of somebody on the Huberman show talking about like that they measured people just for 5 minutes of meditation
Yeah,
and it had a profound effect.
yeah,
And I was like, well, 5 minutes isn't a long investment. And those are 5 minutes you could look into yourself and make an intention for your day and set yourself up. So I guess,
Was that like breath work? Were they just talking about like focusing on breath work or meditation?
well, just meditation, taking the time to, maybe breathe, maybe focus on those things. Like, I'd like to do that better and like, I know I had set out at one point to try to do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I found 10 minutes hard.
15 minutes I used to do daily. It's really hard.
So if you could get
I've
to
done that a
5
long
minutes and
time.
start with something that's achievable, and I think the successes from just that would maybe compound.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And
You
because that's
don't know
gonna,
unless you start though. But like 5 minutes, even one of the guys was like, before you scroll and like start your day in a way where you're often busy, at least say some words about what you want for your day.
yeah.
And like maybe that will even set up like, okay, I want to feel less anxiety. I want to feel like I'm going to do my workout. I want to feel like I'll be able to handle things better and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, that's what you want for your day,
Yeah.
So you have it clear and like set out. And I've been trying to do at least that, like wake up and be like, okay, before I touch the phone, just be like, all right, I want this day to be, whatever you go through it with like some grace and like try to minimize anxiety or whatever. And yeah, but I know I'm having a hard time with the anxiety stuff.
Yeah, like all I'm really getting off of that is like when you focus inwards and focus on your breath, like for one, I know I have a really hard time breathing. In general, we forget to breathe, and that's like one of the most important things. So like when you are in an active state of meditation or breath work, you're actually focusing on your breath, and that's one thing that really regulates your heart rate, and it manages your cortisol, right? So you're actually inhibiting the cortisol that's being produced, and you're getting ready for your body, like before bed you're getting ready for your body to start producing melatonin and whatnot. I don't know, that's what I can imagine they were talking about. That's really important.
Just the breath work alone has been
That's the
one
most
of
important thing, dude.
the key
Yeah.
for me to like manage my anxiety had been like doing a box breathing thing.
Yeah.
And I really feel like after a few cycles where you just breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, and do maybe, 8 or 10 of those cycles, I could feel
The box sort of dissipate.
well, it's like
around
the
your chest.
tension of anxiety starts to kind of like just lessen a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so breathing is a big one.
Yeah, man.
And being like calm in your breath too, and like
Well,
not like jittery or not short breath, but like actually taking big full without hyperventilating.
With intention,
but
yeah.
like,
But I also find the thing about breath work is we're all so allocated to our minds solely. Like we're lost in our minds. You know what I mean? And we forget that we are the rest of our body as well. In fact, the mind is simply a tool that we use to process information, analyze, and, there's a lot going on in the mind, but it's actually a tool. It's a tool that
so
we're meant to
hard
like
slow it down.
utilize,
Yeah.
not be stuck in 24/7. That's like, imagine if you were always on a calculator and that's all you were doing is calculations, crunching. That's like being in your mind 24/7, just crunching information. You know
Kind of
what
what
I mean?
that's how I feel. I'm doing that with the phone.
So
in a
phones are
way.
really bad too. I'm trying to get away from
It's
it, but
just, like,
hey,
constant.
everyone is suffering from the same thing. This is the new opioid, dude.
I know. It's
You know,
so
this is the
hard.
new opioid. This is the new everything, and it's absolutely destroying the fabric of our society. And wait till AI comes in on a fully autonomous level where it's actually integrating into all the different news outlets, and you won't even be able to tell fact from fiction anymore. You'll have to use AI to tell AI apart. And then you'll have to hope that that AI is not acting autonomously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
He's like, I've learned to trick you because AI is good.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, great.
and you're like just stuck in your little fucking room and you're like, I don't know what's going on out there anymore. Anyways, but like, yeah, like technology's a curse. Ultimately, it's supposed to be a tool, and we believe we're becoming more intellectual as a result of technology. But just because we have information at our grasp doesn't mean we're more informed. We're not more knowledgeable than our ancestors whatsoever. I can tell humanity is degrading because look at like a lot of people don't even do anything anymore, and that's not to say an insult. I think it's a result of our society. You know, like it's
Yeah.
actually debilitating to have access to so much without having to do anything.
Yeah.
So how can you ever feel like you're achieving anything in life? You know, like you just feel depressed and anxious. You wonder why people are depressed and anxious. It's nothing's getting done,
and
but
you're
it's all there.
taking in badness all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel when you do your meditation? Do you feel like you need to move and feel your body flowing with it, or are you still
I sit down and just breathe and clear my mind.
and just try not thinking?
I don't think about anything. Nothing's on my mind. You know, like when I pray, nothing's really ever on my mind either. I just empty. It's either like with meditation, it's just breath work for me. I'm just letting everything out,
Focus on the breath in your body.
just stilling myself. And then when I pray, it's just, you know, sending out prayer to God and trying to worship. But I'm not usually thinking about anything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes an idea will pop into your mind, but even that, it's like,
I find that's a part of my problem, that I'm constantly overthinking, overanalyzing, feeling like there's a compulsion to have like more thought process or something. It's weird.
well, you're already a more heady guy as it is, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You're a thinker. You know, there's thinkers in this world. There's people that like to just push weights all day and not think, and
Yeah.
there's people
I'd
that
like to be more like that.
you just got to balance it out. I don't know. You run a lot, right? That's one way you still yourself. I find running though, like when I run, I think the whole time, and I get good ideas while I'm running. So running's not like lifting weights because
Well,
running's intense, bro.
Yeah, that's a good time to like have thoughts. For me, that is the same for me, because I would, be doing that breath work of running, and then you're chooching and just going, and then you become in this state that's kind of like
Yeah.
you're like automatically just running, and you're like, okay, I got half an hour to go or whatever, and
See,
yeah, then you're meditating, so
Like-
all these things start coming to you in a cool way.
that's why
Where
I
it's like, oh, this idea, that idea, and all these different things. And usually it gives you kind of a peaceful something or other, and then it gives you a lot of good thoughts too.
But that's why I like my profession. Like being in a tree, it really grounds me, really centers me the entire time. Because you have to hyper focus on everything, and it's a dangerous environment. So that really grounds me. You know, I'm not thinking about anything but taking this out, and I'm not around other people. I'm around the
Right.
people on the ground who I'm communicating with to take it all down safely. But that's always been a huge benefit.
Nice. I also I put breathing, I put depression, anxiety, meditation, intention,
Brother, we hit those.
meeting the challenges with grace. And then I put anger as a subtitle.
Yeah, like meeting life with grace, right? And that comes back down to actually being grounded and centered within your own essence.
Yeah.
You have to be grounded and centered in order to meet life gracefully. Because that's the beast.
Or else, yeah, you're meeting it in a way that's
You're gonna be angry. You're gonna
You're
get
gonna be
frustrated.
angry. You're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna lose your patience. Yeah, right before. Yeah, I put patience.
It's like
too,
you perceive that as something you can control. Life, the beast of life. You can't control it.
No.
It is an unstable, unpredictable paradigm that is constantly evolving before you, and the only variable that you have the ability to control within it is yourself, your actions, your thoughts to an extent. You know, your thoughts.
Yeah, it's hard to.
You can't even control your thoughts.
Yeah, at times
Like,
it's impossible.
If I was in control of all my thoughts, I'm cooked, dude. I'm absolutely insane, you know?
So
like-
how do you think you really can be in a state of like grace? You know,
Being mindful.
being mindful.
Being
yeah.
mindful of the thoughts as they come into, you know, your mind, and relinquishing them and finding peace with them.
Yeah, that's probably why doing the morning meditation and like setting your intention is important, because if not, then you're gonna be kind of freewheeling a bit,
I think it's really
and
important.
you're
I
gonna
don't
be
do it.
very reactive.
Yeah.
You know, instead of like aware that certain things are probably gonna transpire, and that you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna meet these with a graceful touch or whatever. You know.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. No, I think it is actually incredibly beneficial to have that. It's a morning like ritual, right?
Yeah.
That sets you up for the day.
Mm.
And just kind of like grounds you, balances you, and allows you to like center on what it is you are attempting to achieve each and every morning. Because each moment's a gift. Each day is a gift.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to do your healing, to
seize the day.
to seize the day, to do some of the things. Dude, I swear by those lists on your calendar, to when you have at least 3 or 4 things that you know you want to cross off, instead of just leaving everything to maybe. It's like, we don't got almost spared life to do maybe.
No, we don't.
And be like sitting around in a state of like
Uncertainty.
and just wishy-washiness, you know, like.
Yeah. That's a hard one. Because
It
life,
is.
like, unless you actually are, when you empty the pot, then you can fill it back up. But if that pot is full and it's boiling over,
Yeah.
it's really difficult to add new substance to it. And that's the thing, right? Like, I feel
You always want
completely
new substance.
overboiling sometimes. And then you got to really take the time to empty that out.
What do you think is your overboiling part?
Probably just uncertainty in which direction to move forward at that moment in time. Like making definitive actions when it comes to not enormous, but like pretty large decisions.
Which one is it for you right now, do you think? Is it job or like,
Mine would be profession
Little
more
bit
than
of the-
anything, and then determining if I'm actually going to stay in the area I'm going to stay
yeah.
to continue professionally, because I have other opportunities in other areas. So it would be professionally more than anything, but then obviously what comes down as well is like family, because I have older parents who I have to help out a lot, and they're in this area. So that's a huge thing that weighs on me when it comes to that as well. So like everything kind of like adds into a single decision, but like making that decision has pros and cons, right? So you have to weigh that carefully and determine the best course of action as well. But like, it's not like it's just like an easy decision. It's like that the things that weigh on me
It's
are
a big,
large decisions
huge
that will
thing.
impact
I
my
know
life.
that always messes with me, was
Yeah.
the unknowns, and you want to feel some sort of stability and comfort with like a good choice of, especially like, you know, how you're using a lot of your time when it comes to making money and all that. The church stuff, do you think that is like real estate
weighing on me.
with your boiling part?
It's so hard to. I wouldn't say that, no, because I only have dealt with when it comes to processing that in my ego, and then whenever I attend it, I feel
Peaceful again?
really, yeah. There's a lot to gain out of that. But like I'm new to actually attending. I attended an Orthodox church in Ottawa, and I've just started attending that over the past like 3 or 4 months, just for context. And before that, like I never went to church. I only like came back to like Christianity within the past like year and a half, and I never intended to do that in a group setting again because I had a really bad taste in my mouth from when I was very young. And it's been like a process and a journey just getting back to attending that with other people all together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very like once you get into that, it's a deeply spiritual process. And by process, I mean like there's a lot that goes on when you become a lot more aware because a lot starts to light up inside, and you realize a lot of things that you were doing previously were really unethical, immoral, and whatnot. But because it's so selfish, and because it's so normalized in society, you don't blink or think anything of it. So like, there's a lot to it. It's not just attending church. It's like attending spirit, like being with God and feeling all that at once again. That's a process. Yeah, that weighs heavily on me each and every day for sure. Not heavily, but it does weigh on me. It's something I think about every day.
Well, yeah,
You know?
like service to self versus service to others, and like
Those are the two paths, right?
Our main role and the way you like set up your trajectory is kind of like, yeah, you're carving a path that is, you know, could be leaning too lopsided one way or the other, which is that's a tough one, like to discern, because you feel like, you know,
You follow the path. You know, you follow the way. It's a journey ultimately. You don't give up.
yeah, and hopefully you get some good guidance and magnetism towards some things that are helpful and beneficial instead of just constantly the darkness luring, you know, instead of like floating towards the light, you're like being lured and tempted towards
Darkness once again.
darkness and like
as a result of being
misery,
close to the light, though.
well, and greed and all those things where it's like, oh, it becomes more about me all over again, where it's like, really, I think with the sobriety, it kind of pushes you and kicks your ass to the other way, because you can't keep going in like a positive sober life if you're always like me, because that's kind of how we were, you know, in a way.
It's like I was saying to you the other night as well, like the whole substance issue from what I have observed in my own life, and I think this is actually universal. People are searching for something to fill a void within themselves. And for me, like when I found God again, that actually filled it entirely. It changes you on such a like deep cellular level. At least I can only speak for myself, that I have no inclination to go and drink and go and smoke and go and chase women like hedonistically to the same extent in which previously, man, like 2 years ago, that's all that was on my mind, like a year and a half.
Diet.
But that was, precisely so.
Yeah,
and that's like what I live for.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think that's
outside of like
universal.
working and making enough money to support my habits, and like it's not like I was like I still functioned. I still had a job, had a place, like everything was good, but like I lived a very materialistic life of sin.
Yeah, it's the how you nourish your spirit.
You wake up, right?
Yeah, and
Almost.
you start nourishing it with like a good, the appropriate stuff, and then your spirit feels more fulfilled, and then it doesn't have to like long for
And
the empty hole that will never be filled appropriately, you know,
yes,
which sucks.
it does suck. But the thing is,
Despair. You're like, I can never get enough.
it never is enough. It's
And
the
it's
hungry
never
ghost that
enough.
can't be filled.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. That's what it is.
you know?
That's universal.
Yeah, it's just like you're always trying to consume more, take more, get more, and nothing ever follows through because you're looking for spiritual nourishment.
Yeah.
You're looking for that hole in your heart to be filled, and consuming of the flesh, it just all falls right through you. You're gonna shit it out. You're gonna, seriously, you're gonna shit it out,
like
or you're
diarrhea.
gonna bust a nut, and it's all gonna be empty because that's not actually what you're searching for.
Yeah, man.
But that's the lie, man. That's the lie that this world offers, is that you can attain satisfaction through the material. And people always say, yeah, well, it's better to be rich and be on it. But it's like, yeah, but a lot of wealthy people are absolutely miserable nonetheless. So you can't really say that because you're not wealthy, so you don't know what it's like, because it actually is incredibly stressful running enormous empires and shit, unless you're just a sociopathic Illuminati who just kind of fell into it. And you haven't really had to work for anything your entire life, which is, for the most part, probably a lot of the elites.
And they got such good marketing for it too.
Oh, it's all
Make
fucking-
it like delectable and delicious and convenient and hypersexual and
Yeah,
beautiful
like-
and awesome.
You know, I think
Well,
we've touched on this.
How do you market for the other side?
You don't.
You don't really.
No, I don't think so. I'm no preacher. I think people have to find.
maybe not preaching. Okay, preaching or marketing isn't probably the right word, but like, well, I guess they would say like spreading the good word or like,
Yeah.
like showing from your actions of your.
The thing is,
But I just long for like something. You know, I guess a part of it is music and art. That's like one of the methods,
self though.
huh?
It's the self.
Yeah,
That satisfies the
in a
self.
way that is like could be easily interpreted as such as something positive and beneficial and like just that is sexy, seeing healthiness. You know,
You're like the music and art. Well, that is healthy. Seeing
like
sexiness
yeah, like
or sexy seeing healthiness.
well, like seeing somebody running, like even if
Yeah.
it's somebody that you could tell is like not
If it's a fat dude, you're like
in
that
a
guy's
great
getting
state. Yeah, I
Fat
feel
chick, like,
totally
chick's
pumped
getting
for
it.
them.
it. Yeah,
You give them that little wave of like encouragement, being
fist
like,
bump them.
Yeah, it'd be like, yeah, you getting it. I love that. That's not really.
But like in the same, like what I'm saying is, like everyone knows where God is. Like, so that's the marketing unto itself. You know what I mean? You don't have to market for God, in my opinion. Like the thing about the darkness is it has to market to appeal to people because it's wrong, it's unnatural. But the more you tell people it's natural and the right thing to do over and over again, you brainwash people.
They know
right?
the repetition works. So the
Right?
repetition,
So that's psychology and whatnot.
Yeah,
right?
the repetition definitely works. So.
You ingrain that within human beings, and after a couple of generations, you can completely reprogram human beings altogether, and that's what we've seen in Western civilization since the end of the Second World War. All of Western civilization has essentially, like, shattered.
Right.
It's come apart. The morals we once held as independent civilizations and the cultures we once possessed and shared have all but disintegrated, and we have willingly and blindly allowed that to occur under our own watch due to shame and
Well, and the brainwashing.
and the brainwashing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And a lot of, like, the thing is, all the people who held all of that culture intact and held that dear to their hearts died in war, for the most part. You know, you can't tell me tens of millions of men and women who were in the best parts of their lives suddenly dying in war won't affect a civilization. It absolutely will. It's only young people afterwards who are prone to brainwashing that are going to inherit it furthermore.
So how do you unbrainwash it with more brainwashing? You gotta wash
No, the
it.
thing is, like, that's what it comes down to. Like, humans really do. We're independent. You know, we're not meant to be. We're not on an assembly line. This isn't mechanics. We're not automatons. We're independent, conscious human beings that have to awaken of our own volition. You can't force someone to do
Yeah.
that. When you force someone to do that, you're imposing upon their free will. That's wrong, right? You can't. And like, people have to come to their own conclusions. There's no reason to sway someone else. You don't know what's right in your own heart a lot of the time. So how could you sway another individual? That's wrong.
Well, just maybe it's not swaying. It's just
Persuading. You know? No, but that's what I'm saying. How do you brainwashing's wrong. That's the work of the devil.
Yeah, not brainwashing. Just that idea of the repetition and that if you constantly see something that's working in a way that is beneficial and that's good and that's healthy and that feels right and that you could kind of sense that spiritual nourishment. It's like churches and like for me the community drum nights are kind of like that, where it's like through repetition and something that I now look forward to every twice a week, and it's like 2-3 hours, you know, and it is kind of like, yeah, repeating that, it doesn't get old because it constantly is filling my cup in a positive way, you know? So
Yeah.
that's not brainwashing, but it's like through that repetition of goodness.
Yeah, but you're also disciplining yourself enough to go out and do that of your own volition. No one's brainwashing you to go out to drum group. You actually attended Wabano one day and you were like, oh, drum, big drum, I'm Métis, I'd like to hit. And then you started doing that consistently since
Yeah,
over time, you know, and you found a group of guys who like to do the same thing, and no one was brainwashed to do that. You guys all come together of your own volition and do something to unify
Yeah.
yourselves as a group that is positive and cohesive, and you know, you guys are benefiting from that through the group work, right?
Community and having the right intention,
And, like,
everything is filled up.
I was never told to go to this Orthodox church. I researched it on my own volition. I didn't want to for the longest time. One day I just started going, and then I didn't go back for a month because I was like, whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot to absorb. And then I continuously went over and over again, and over time, you know, and that's become a really positive part of my life, and it's part of my routine, and I'm developing a community there with people who also go of their own volition,
Yeah.
you know, to be with God, and you know, that's become a really positive thing for me too. But it's all of our own free will. We're all doing that of our own accord. There's no brainwashing involved whatsoever. I didn't have someone come up to my door and say, hey, you want to come do Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, I guess you have to have the curiosity and willingness to
So like,
change the page a little bit and experience something that might be potentially beneficial for you, and that is not the same old. Like if you have the same old pattern, then you want to try to create a new line that is developing into a new pattern, if that's something you want.
like I just saw like a ball of yarn
Yeah.
in my head, and it's ripped in many different directions. But it all leads to the, you know, you're going to unravel the ball either way, but which way you're going to pull it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you're used to going in one direction and it ain't working, it's
Yeah,
like
you're in the wrong direction, buddy.
you need to.
You know what I mean, though? And
Well,
it's crazy.
that's the 180 trajectory
And-
of like the paradigm shift, where you're like, if you even sense that you need a paradigm shift, you probably
need a paradigm shift,
yeah,
dude.
you need to stop and like literally turn the opposite direction and go in a different way. And finding that good way is like, yeah, I guess something very, very cool, and you gotta explore a little bit, do a little bit of investigation work of something. I guess we're so lucky that we had the like some kind of compulsion to do that, even because a lot of people won't do that. But that's what I mean by not the brainwashing or the marketing, but like a little bit of like tenderness and help to help nudge into a positive direction.
I
or
think on
something.
top of that, too, like there's has a lot to do with like the self and having that spark of awareness within that grows over time, and the sensitivity to that spark. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the thing is, the examples in the group which I know of, like there's you, there's your brother, you know, my other friend Spencer, he started trying to become more self-aware, but it's not the same for everyone. Like, the thing is, everyone's just, kid, like you go to AA and you see, oh, you put down the bottle, but you're still miserable. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
It's
You're
just a
still
part of it.
miserable.
Yeah,
Everything,
it's just a part of it.
everything's the spark within you. Okay, you're trying to really come more in touch, like get rid of that wounded aspect of yourself. You're trying to heal that wounded aspect of yourself so you can actually come online and truly be intentional with your life.
Yeah, that's like I've just thought of like when you do the paradigm shift and you turn around, you can't just stay turned around. You have
No.
to go forward now into that direction.
Yeah.
And then like
And like, we can't say that 90-year-old dude who's having a cigarette on his porch every morning and having a whiskey, and he's happy and at peace and he's lived a good life. We can't be, oh, that guy is like off. He's not off at all. You know, that's a matter of perception.
yeah, no,
He's at peace.
it's judging how you're if you're I guess if you feel nourished. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah, and having that balance, right?
That comes differently for different people, and I think in like the dark times, it's more just like I was just feeling like, man, if we're in that direction and we have the capacity, then it's like we can like really cook and make more of a feast than just nourishing ourselves, right? Kind of. So instead of just being like, oh, I just have enough to nourish me and my spirit, it's like you become more able to be able to make a bigger meal and to like feast a little more people in a kind of sense, you know, or something.
But like the thing is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
No.
So that feast, like it's within you. Like what you're harnessing is growing within you, and it doesn't have to be given away freely because what
It doesn't have to. No, that's like a generosity thing, though, where it's
Yeah.
like you can offer little
Upon-
things or try to.
yeah.
Well, it's like looking out for, you know, brother man, or even sometimes that is just like the strength to try to say the truth to the false, you know, stuff. Where it's like that indirectly just like is helpful to the bigger, you know, a little bit of people being like, oh man, finally he said it. At
I
least when
guess-
somebody finally says, hey man, this is a lie. So why, you know, and they're like, oh good, I was waiting for you to,
Yeah.
you know,
To actually stand your ground
Stand
and
your
put an
ground.
end to it. Put
and
an
that's
end
the
to it.
same as the personal part being like, oh, you're finally doing your own truth of like your paradigm shift. That means you have to like accept certain things and be truthful and honest with yourself to be like, oh man, something ain't right or whatever it is, you know, like
Yeah.
the things that you want to progress with your own personal life, with your own spiritual feeding, and then like, yeah, like succeed, you know, kind of in a way. I don't know where I'm going with that point, but
I do know, like, when I was at a really low point in my life, I was offering a lot to others. And I was always trying to be there for everyone else, and I was never there for myself. And as a result of that, I lacked within myself any sort of sustenance.
yeah, for sure.
And that's why I would be using consistently as well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I was offering a lot to other people. Other people were feasting
That's
at my
classic.
expense.
Well, and
You know what I mean? So they were feasting, like I was giving away my own essence. It wasn't like I was generating an abundance.
yeah,
It was like I was being cannibalized willingly, you know? And that's like that.
well,
know,
and
self-sacrificing
your
foolishness.
your offers, although it may be slightly generous, might have been like misguided.
Yeah, misguided and ultimately detrimental to all parties involved. Because it's not like you can keep that up for one and you grow quite angry as a result of that.
Yeah, if it's like unsustainable,
Yes.
and then like
So like
resentments.
you know,
and-
now that I have that, like, you realize too after a while, a lot of people don't even want what you have to offer when it's shifted so drastically, and you can't force them. You know what
no,
I mean?
all you could do is love.
You can just love, and you can
could
be
just
there.
love,
You can
and
be there
that's
for people.
kind of the yeah.
Whereas like previously though, everyone wants to. It's that energy, right? Like people are attracted to your energy, like your state of mind, what you represent and whatnot. So like when you go through a gradual shift, the people that you were surrounded with beforehand are no longer going to be attracted to that,
Yeah.
or they just won't be. So you're going to be feasting alone, and that's when you start to, as you were saying earlier, cook. But it's just you're harnessing yourself and you're replenishing yourself, right?
Yeah, and that's important too.
And then hopefully in the future, like as a result of replenishing yourself, you surround yourself with others whom are doing the same work. And it's not like a parasitic exchange any longer. It's symbiotic in nature. Because that's what it should be consistently. Others can come. Like you can feed the poor, you can help out those less fortunate and whatnot. But like you can't save people.
Well, no.
You can't. I've seen it time and time again. You
Yeah,
can't.
you can't.
They will fall right back down. People have to be rising and trying to change.
Yeah.
And that's of their own volition. That's their own free will. It comes back to free will. You have to do that on your own accord. No one can do that for you.
Well,
That's
and-
not how it works.
Do you find you need to like? I kind of feel like that sustenance, you have to kind of like keep it going and like really maintain it with whatever discipline you could muster to be able to go through life's challenges and like have that extra energy to meet the challenges, like you got to have that little bit of extra gas in your tank to do it in a proper way and like go through, negative things and be able to not get crushed and like collapse under the pressure of, all those things. And I think of like the depression and the anxiety and the stress that we feel. It's like, yeah, we got to combat that with extra good energy or something, right? Like,
But it's also
good food, but like good energy and the actual sustenance,
But like you were saying too, like in order to be able to withstand that onslaught, you have to have developed an innate like shield. And that comes through discipline and doing the right things over and over again and like really developing your mind to
Getting
be able
used to
to
it.
withstand stress. Right? Because if you're not able to withstand that stress, it's going to crack you immediately.
Yeah.
But if you're like prepared to deal with that stress and realize that it's all, it's gonna pass, it just is what it is at that moment in time, then you don't really take it nearly as personally.
It's true.
But if you just like let that come, if you don't have a shield up, it's just gonna come right into you and you're just gonna be hyper fixated on that, and it's gonna eat you, right? Emotionally.
Make you more depressed
Yeah.
and anxious.
And it could be a little thing too. That's why developing your mind and like shutting off your mind, but also developing your mind is so important. Like developing yourself to be able to withstand all that, because otherwise a little thing could trigger you. A little thing. So what happens when the big things occur in life? That's going to break you down. And the thing is that comes with maturity.
Well,
Hopefully,
and
maturity.
learning appropriate tools. Like that's
Yeah.
what I want to learn more about is like more of those functioning good concepts and like tools to help do those things. Because I know there's more than I use, and it's like if you guys have tools that you use for that stuff, let us know. Something that works.
Yeah, like
You breathe yourself out of stuff, but it'd be nice to have
fucking just
more.
become a balloon and float away.
Yeah, I need more
I
tools.
haven't got enough helium in this,
More tools than, to be able to combat
Life.
life and depression, anxiety, and stress, and anger, and those things.
You can maybe go to therapy. You can talk to someone for
Talk to
longer
somebody.
sessions. That's one thing I always recommend to people. I don't
Yeah.
do therapy.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
probably should. I think everyone would probably benefit from talking to someone, being like, "Oh, I don't need that. I'm too tough." Like everyone could probably benefit from that.
Yeah,
Probably. You'll benefit from talking to someone who is not
Wisdom.
so close
Yeah,
to
and
your
has-
situation and can see it from a outsider's perspective, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. They're not emotionally attached, and they can observe your disposition. And
give you good guidance, good wisdom.
so I think that's always a good one. And then obviously like having faith, and like that's a huge thing in life too. I think no matter what, is like that's a huge thing for anyone. Having a physical regimen that's consistently keeping you active, eating right, sleeping well. You get back to your breath work. Sure, that's a big deal for sure. But like just doing the basic things each and every day, having the discipline to eat right, sleep well, exercise, not hold everything within your mind. That'll make a big difference
Have
right
an
there.
intention
I think
and-
journaling is really good too, man.
Yeah, something special about writing words, man.
Sometimes I'll write for like 45 minutes and just like fill a page and a half because I'm just trying to get through it. Like not much. I won't write much. I'm just trying to get through what's actually knotted up in my mind.
That's like kind of your dreams too, right? It's
Yeah.
like the same. It just starts writing itself, and then you're like, "Huh, all that
I've been
was in
sleeping
there."
well actually the past like 2 or 3 nights. I'm having like deep sleep. I'm having wild dreams again, and I haven't been dreaming for a long time. So another thing too is put your phone away at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
Put your phone away and like actually go lay down and read and pray and meditate and like journal and let yourself naturally fall asleep. That's a big deal. The cell phones, we get back to that. Don't have that with you all the time, and don't always be absorbing news. You know, don't always be reading on your phone. I think we all need to get away from that. I think that's obviously it's one of the worst things. You know, there's so many
Yeah.
studies being done.
It's too small, and it becomes closer and closer to your face where you're like,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
it's like right in front of your gun.
What was that documentary that came out probably like 5 or 6 years ago about social media, and all the main like CEOs and executives were talking about, yeah, my fucking kids don't even use this. It's designed to keep you addicted.
They don't allow iPads and all
Even
that.
like all these apps and everything, they studied casinos, slot machines, all the different gambling machines to design all these
To make
apps,
it-
you know? Because it's like a swipe. Your brain's getting a little reward. It's an addiction. It's all an addiction.
Yeah.
You're the product, bro.
Yep.
So
There you go.
that's it, man.
And we're just at the outro. It's like,
Few lines are written
well, that was a mouthful, eh?
on a new
Yeah.
beginning.
Continue on the good path, everybody.
Your our lining.
One step forward.
Few steps backwards.
Yeah. but keep going in the right direction.
Yeah, keep at
My
it.
body,
All right.
Peace and love, y'all.
for this I can't be
Peace.
sorry. We'll let them know